Hi everyone, so I'm going to do a tarot reading for this upcoming week for whoever sees this video. So I'm going to pull a card from each of these two decks here. One card will represent Monday, Tuesday, the beginning of the week. The next card from each deck will represent Wednesday, Thursday, and then one final card from each deck for the weekend, just to give us a bit of guidance about upcoming energies. So here goes. So this deck here is Angels, Gods and Goddesses by Toni, Carmine, Salerno. I've kind of pre-shuffled it a bit, but I'll do a few more shuffles now. Okay, let's see what wants to come out. So a card for Monday, Tuesday. And one for Wednesday, Thursday. And one for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There we go. Okay. And then we'll pull a card from this deck, which is Angel Dreams by Melissa Virtue and Doreen Virtue, I believe. Oh, there's beautiful heavy rain on the roof at the moment. I'm loving it. Okay. Alright. So Monday, Tuesday. Here we go. Okay. Wednesday, Thursday. Here we go. And one for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Here we go. I love it when they pop out nice and clear. Okay. So for Monday, Tuesday, actually I'm just going to have a quick look of the cards at the moment and see how they kind of connect. Interesting. Okay, so for Monday, Tuesday, we've got this card here, Angel of Vision, and we've got this one here, Passed Over Loved Ones. But here's what I'm getting. So Monday, Tuesday, it seems like you are having this sort of epiphany. It's like you're able to see something clearly that I'm getting that you haven't really been able to see for like a long time. Like we could be talking about years and years here. And it seems to be connected to this card here, Passed Over Loved Ones. So what I'm getting is that for a lot of you, there may be a family member, most likely one that's deceased, but doesn't have to be, that you've held like a lot of bitterness and resentment and kind of unforgiveness towards them about something they did or that you perceived that they did, but most likely probably something that they actually did that may have actually been really not cool. But I feel like Monday, Tuesday, you're coming to this realization that actually you need to let it go. Because actually it's not doing you any good. And there's nothing in this card that suggest this, but what I'm actually getting is that for someone, the unforgiveness that you felt towards this person has actually led to some sort of addiction in your own life. I'm getting alcohol, but it could actually be anything. It could be food or shopping or but yeah, I'm getting the sense that because you haven't resolved this and you're carrying around all this anger and this bitterness, it's had to come up in some other way in your life, and it's come up as an addiction that you've really struggled with. But I'm getting that Monday, Tuesday, it's like you're going to have this moment of epiphany of like, you're just going to be able to see like, oh yeah, like actually, I'm actually harming myself by holding on to this. And I feel like you're going to be given support from the universe, maybe even other people around you. You know, you might discuss this situation with friends or something, and they may, or a counselor or whoever, it could be a workmate, somebody. And I kind of feel like you're going to be given support, you know, like people are going to support you as you kind of let this go. And if there's no one that you're kind of talking to about the situation, then I just feel like the universe is going to really support you to let this go. And if you look on this Angel of Vision card, you see the wings above the eyes, and it's white, and it kind of looks like a dove. So it's going to bring in a lot of peace. And you've also got the yellow sun there. So it's going to be like a sunrise in your life after you let this go. So that's kind of the energies for Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, interesting energy. So we've got Goddess of Psychic Protection, and then underneath that, Unicorn. And so the Unicorn card indicates like innocence, trust, honesty, and the Psychic Protection card is well, it's essentially saying that you're protected, that other people can't really harm you, and as long as you aren't kind of giving into fears and creating these negative stories and buying into those, then you're kind of protected. So I don't know, it may be that once you let go of some of this stuff on Monday, Tuesday, or begin part of that process, it might be that on Wednesday, Thursday, you might start to question, like, oh, now, like, I've let this go, but what if now somebody else comes into my life and does whatever the person that you started to forgive on Monday, Tuesday, what if somebody else does this? Like, what if, you know, what if somebody else harms me? And it's saying, you know, let go of that fear. And also, I'm kind of getting the feeling like forgive yourself for like the ways you've hurt yourself since that incident years ago, whatever it's about with that person. Like, I kind of feel like the cards are perhaps saying that you've made some bad choices over the previous few years. Not in the sense of like bad as in like a judgment kind of bad, but you know yourself that you've made some kind of decisions that just haven't taken you on a good path, or that haven't led to your highest good. And looking back now, you're kind of like, I wish I had done something different kind of thing is what I'm getting. But with the Unicorn card, what I'm really getting is like if you're holding on to like any kind of guilt or shame around some of the decisions that you've made, it's kind of like saying, let that go. Like, you're fine, you're innocent, you're trustworthy, you're honest. So it might be that maybe you are having a really hard time believing that right now. Like, you're letting that thing kind of cloud your sense of okayness as a person, and it's just saying you don't need to. And yeah, there is an element of protection that's continuing and universal support that's continuing on Wednesday, Thursday as well. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at the weekend, it's it's really interesting because all these cards here are not all about, they're not all about intuition or psychic abilities or whatever, but the first 3 cards, you know, all the cards that have come out from this deck in this reading are all about that. So you've got Angel of Vision, Monday, Tuesday, you've got Goddess of Psychic Protection, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you've got Angel of Psychic Ability, and I'm kind of getting that it connects with the card at the beginning. So it's kind of like you've let this stuff go, Monday, Tuesday, you've forgiven yourself, Wednesday, Thursday, you're kind of realizing that you don't need to give in to all these fears about your safety, about you harming other people, about other people harming you, like you're realizing that you're okay. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's like, because of that, it's like your mind is clear. You're able to perceive things differently. You know, you may just find that before, maybe you were someone that made all your decisions kind of like rationally, logically, like using the scientific part of your mind. And by the end of the week, you're actually starting to realize like, oh, like my feelings and my intuition and they've also got valuable information for me. And I realized that maybe in the past when I've been trying to make a decision, like I've always kind of listened to my mind because that seemed logical. And now looking back at some of those perhaps choices that you made in the past that you weren't happy with, or you can see now didn't lead to the best place, maybe you are having these realizations of like, yeah, see, I remember at the time, like mentally, like logically, it seemed like the right thing to do, or what I ended up doing. But in my feeling space, like in my heart, it didn't seem fine, but like I didn't know why. And so obviously I did what seemed logical, right? Because that's what we're taught to do. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, though, I'm kind of getting the feeling you're like, isn't it interesting that all those times when I thought I was making the right decision and it turned out perhaps not to be, like my feelings were kind of guiding me against making, sorry, I'm about to knock my cup of tea over. My feelings were trying to guide me not to actually make that decision. So I'm kind of sensing that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's like you're gonna trust yourself more now. Like you're gonna be like, actually, like that voice in my head or just that inner knowing that like I should go this way or that way, like I can listen to that. I don't maybe know what it is. I don't need to maybe think of it as something super spiritual if that's not your thing and if that doesn't kind of sit with you. But there's kind of a sense that whatever that thing is, it kind of knows what the best path for me is, and maybe I can listen to that. And so that's kind of what this card here is representing for me. And with all the different colors around her head, it's just saying that once you've let go of whatever this thing was on Monday, Tuesday, and kind of the bitterness and all that you've been holding towards the person that was responsible for that, it's saying that with all the colors around the head, it's like everything's coming into balance more. Like since you've let that go, or since you start the process of letting it go, you're just going to become so much more balanced as a person and feel more in balance physically, emotionally, whatever. And that really resonates with the card below as well, which is yellow, associated with the solar plexus chakra. And on the card it says flexibility, adaptability, and personal power. So yeah, you are coming into balance more. It seems like this week is actually hugely significant because you're actually resolving something that's been it's been problematic in your life for a number of years, whether you've realized it previously or not. And it seems like you're kind of wrapping up whatever that was and moving on, and it's just providing you with a sense of like, wow, I'm strong, I'm powerful, like I've got this, I can, you know, more doors are opening up to me now. Like I didn't realize how much this was holding me back, but now that I've moved on, like, wow, I feel like a new person. So that's kind of cool. So that's the reading for the week. Hope you like it. Let me know at the end of the week if it kind of resonated for you, if it made sense, and I'll catch you again soon. Okay, bye.